Yeezy Day 2024 is finally here, and it's absolutely insane. Not only are we going to be seeing tons of hyped colorways, but it's lasting 2 weeks. Just to name a few of these colorways, we got the Yeezy 350 Beluga Reflective, Dazzling Blues, Red Stripes, Pirate Blacks, Blue Tints, the Yeezy 700 Waverunner, the Yeezy 350 Turtle Dove, tons of Foamrunners, and tons of Yeezy slides, including the glow-in-the-dark ones, and even the new 450s, and this is only the tip of the iceberg. There's so many more drops. And on top of this stacked lineup, there's a rumor that Adidas is going to drop some kind of a discount code either during or sometime before these drops, and apparently it's going to accidentally work on a lot of or even all of these Yeezys, allowing them to efficiently sell out while also saving face. If this is true, that means even the non-hyped Yeezys, the Yeezys that are selling for retail to close to below retail, might end up being profitable too, meaning that this Yeezy Day 2024 might just be the biggest and most profitable Yeezy day for not just collectors but resellers too. If a code does drop and we notice it works, we're going to instantly notify everyone inside of my group Endurance, which you could join with the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on the screen. And also on that same link, you could join the free Discord for alerts, guides, freebies, and more. And as always, we will be monitoring Adidas confirmed for any shock drops, like the surprise draws they like to do, or even first come first serve drops. So make sure you're watching the monitors in Endurance if you're in there. With that said though, let's get started. As of now, most sources I've seen have said that Yeezy Day is starting on June 3rd, but House of Heat and some other sources have May 27th as the starting day of the list, so I'll start by going over the 27th, but keep in mind, this could be inaccurate, but I'd rather cover all the information to be safe so you guys know which pairs to go for either way. So the dates should be May 27th, June 3rd, June 4th, June 6th, June 10th, June 11th, and finally June 13th. So it's 2 weeks of Yeezy releases. It's not exactly Yeezy Day, it's more like Yeezy weeks. So starting off with the May 27th releases, for $230, we got the Yeezy 350 V2 Static. These are selling for just about retail, so of course I would have to say personal only for these, but if there is a working discount code, you might be able to make a little bit of brick profit, especially on the larger sizes. Next up for the 27th, for $300, or potentially the new retail of $240, we'll see the Yeezy Boost 700 Analog dropping. Now, even if these were to have a working discount code, unfortunately, they're selling for so far below retail that I'd be skeptical of still purchasing them. So I'd say these are mostly just going to be personals, unless on top of the lowered retail of $240, then there's also a discount code. Then it might be worth looking out for. But if they're just $300 and then they get discounted, I'd be skeptical. Then for $200, or potentially at an elevated retail of $210, we have the Yeezy 500 Supermoon Yellow dropping. As of now, I would expect these to just be personals, even though some sizes are currently profitable right now. With the additional stock, I don't think these prices will hold up, but if there is a discount code, I would say these will be worth copying. Then for $220, the Yeezy Boost 700 MNVN in triple black should be dropping. Now, if you look right now, these are currently going for quite a lot of money, which makes sense as a triple black Yeezy. There's usually a lot of demand for those, but I do not expect these prices to hold up. Nonetheless, I do still think there will be sufficient demand for these to be profitable, if only for lunch money, even without a discount code. But with a discount code, of course, it'll only be better. Then for $300, or potentially a lowered retail of $240, the Yeezy Boost 700 V2 Vanta will be dropping. This is another super clean 700 coming in all black, but unfortunately, unless they do drop the retail to the new 700 retail of $240, these are probably going to be brick profit at best if you have no tax in your state and you're avoiding platforms, because I do think prices will drop from what they're at right now. But if they're just $300, then you would need a discount code most likely to be able to make a decent profit on these. And it's a very similar deal with the Yeezy Boost 700 Utility Black, which is also dropping almost all black, but they got that gum bottom, which turns a lot of people off, so these are going for quite less. Now, if they do drop for $300, they're definitely going to be just personals, even with a discount code. But if they do drop for $240 and there's a discount code, then some of these larger sizes should have potential for some easy profit. Then again, for $300 or potentially $240 if they lower the retail, the Yeezy Boost 700 V2 Tephra should be dropping. These have even lower demand than the prior 700 we just discussed, so I'd have to say these are mostly just going to be personals, even if they're dropping for $240 and then with a discount code on top. At best, you'd only see brick profit in that best case scenario. Then for just $90, the Yeezy Foamrunners Sulfur should be dropping. If these happen to have a working discount code, then you should be able to make some easy lunch money to brick profit on them. And if there is no working discount code, you might be able to make a couple dollars profit if you're selling off of platforms locally, but that's about it. Next up, for $200, the Yeezy Desert Boot Salt should be dropping. Now these are very different from the typical Yeezy because, as you can see, they look like they're profitable right now, but the demand isn't really that high in general, so you would have to be very, very patient when selling these. And if you could hold them for a long period of time and just have them listed, eventually you should be able to make profit off of these, but it's not the typical sale that is going to sell quickly. You're definitely going to have to be very patient when selling these. If you could, you'll make profit, but otherwise I wouldn't bother with these. Then for $90, we got another Foamrunner, this time the Stone Salt colorway. These are in slightly less demand, so I would have to say you definitely need a discount code in order to profit off these, otherwise they're just going to be personals. Then we got the Yeezy Boost 700 Inflame Amber dropping, and I'm pretty sure these are going to be dropping for $240, and at that price, some of these larger sizes might be brick profit if you could avoid platform fees, and if there's a discount code, even on platforms, you should be able to make some profit on those larger sizes, but otherwise, without the discount code or without selling these locally, they're probably going to be personals. Then we got another Foamrunner dropping for $90. This is the Clay Taupe colorway. If you could avoid platform fees and you have no tax in your state, you'll be able to make a couple bucks off these, or alternatively, if there is a working discount code, you could also make some profit on these. Next, for $230, the Yeezy Boost 350 V2 MX Oat will be dropping. Even though some of these large sizes look pretty attractive right now, the truth is demand is low for this colorway. There's not many great sales on them, so you would need a pretty good discount to be able to profit off these, otherwise they're just going to be personals. Then for $230, the Yeezy Boost 380 Alien Blue will be dropping. Unless the discount code is absolutely massive, I would stay away from these, definitely just personals. Then we got the Yeezy Slide Ochre dropping for $70. Even without a discount code, you should be able to make some small profit off these, potentially just lunch money, and with a discount code, they'd be very profitable, but I'm skeptical they would last that long. Then for $250, we got the Yeezy Quantum High Res Orange dropping. These really have very, very low sale volume, so even though some of the asks right now look attractive, I would stay away from these even with a discount. And the same goes for the Yeezy Quantum Onyx, also dropping for $250. Even if these were to have a working discount, I would stay away from them, just personals. Then this is a unique one. We have the kids and preschool versions of the Yeezy 350 Dazzling Blue. This is another one just like the boots where these will take a very long time to sell, but if you could be patient when selling these, you should be able to make profit off of them. But if you're not able to hold them for a long period of time and list them for the high, I wouldn't bother with them. But if you do have extra capital and you could just list these up and wait even a year for them to sell for the right price, then you could make some money. And that same concept applies to the Yeezy 350 V2 Core Black Red in the same kids and preschool sizes, so if you could be patient, it's worth getting these, but you might end up having them for a very, very long time, so just be prepared. And don't worry, we're getting the men's pairs of these too. Those are coming later. I know we're starting off very slow, but it does pick up as we get into the other dates. Just bear with me. Then for $200, the Yeezy 450 Cloud White should be dropping. As of now, they're just going to be personals, but if there's a pretty large discount, you might be able to make some lunch money or brick profit off them. Nothing notable though. Then for $70, we got the Yeezy Slide Onyx dropping. Even without a discount code, these should be profitable, and with a discount code even more so, but I wouldn't even worry about that. They will of course be selling out pretty quickly. Then for $230, the Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Carbon Beluga should be dropping. They're already under retail from the last drop. I would have to say these are personals only, and if there is a really big discount, you might be able to make some lunch money or brick profit, but otherwise they're just personals. And by really big discount, I don't mean 5 or 10%. I mean it's going to have to be 25% or more, depending on if you have tax in your state or not, because you have to keep in mind that if these are currently selling for under $230 after platform fees, and if you're paying tax, it's still going to be pretty hard to profit with a discount, so you need that discount to be pretty significant. So what you really want to look out for is if there's going to be like a big 25 to 35% discount that works on Yeezys. Those are the ones you really want to focus on, if of course the rumors are true. It's not my information, I'm just going based off these rumors. Then for $210, the Yeezy 450 Stone Teal will be dropping. Unfortunately, these are looking like just personals, and unless the discount is really, really big, they're still just going to be personals. Then for $70, we got the Yeezy Slide Slate Marine dropping. Now, on some of these larger sizes, you should be able to make profit even without a discount code if you have no tax, or you could avoid selling on these platforms, or alternatively, if there is a working discount code. But as you can see, they have slightly less demand than the prior Onyx pair we just discussed. Then the same thing applies for the Yeezy Slide Azure, also dropping for $70. If anything, they have slightly more demand, especially on those larger sizes, but not a big difference. Then we have the Yeezy 500 High Tactical Boot Sand at a retail of $300. Unfortunately, I would have to say these are just going to be personals, but there is a large discount and you can be a very patient seller. You should be able to make some profit, but it might take like a year for them to finally sell at an ideal price. It's the same situation with many boots. Then for a whopping $600, the Yeezy 950 Pirate Black is going to be dropping. Now, because of that super high retail, you need a huge discount for these to actually be profitable, potentially like 50% or 45% off, which I think is very unlikely, but we'll see, of course. Then we got the Yeezy Foamrunner Carbon dropping for $90 if there is a sale on these, or alternatively, if you could sell locally, avoid platform fees, and you have no tax, you could make some profit off of these. Now, with May 27th over, now jumping into June 3rd, we also have a lot of releases on this day. We got the Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Beluga Reflective dropping for $230. They are selling for above retail, so if you could avoid platform fees and you have no tax, you'll make some profit. Or if there is a working discount code, even if it is slightly small, you should be able to make some lunch money or a brick profit off of these, especially in the larger sizes. Then the same thing goes for the Yeezy 500 Blush, which is dropping for just $210 also on the same day. So you could expect to be able to profit if there's a discount code, or if you could avoid platform fees and you have no tax in your state. And I definitely would focus on the larger sizes, 11 and above. Then we got the Yeezy 500 Ash Gray dropping for $210 as well. Unfortunately, I would have to say these are going to be personals, even with a discount code, unless it's very, very large. These do have a lot less demand compared to the prior 500 we just discussed. Similarly, also dropping for $210, the Yeezy 500 Bone White is going to be dropping, and I just expect these to be personals, even with a discount code. Then for $70, the Yeezy Slide Bone is going to be dropping. This is one of the Yeezy slides with the most demand, so even without a discount code, you're going to be able to make some pretty good profit off of these, especially on the larger sizes. Then for $200, we'll see the Yeezy 700 V3 Copper Fade. Even with a discount code on these, I would have to say these are just going to be personal. Stay away. Then for $230, the Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Dazzling Blue is going to be dropping, even without a discount code on these, and even if you have tax and you sell on platforms, you should be able to make some easy profit off of these. They've actually appreciated a decent amount in value. Definitely one of the better releases, even though apparently this is not one of Kanye's official colorways, so it's interesting to see them doing so well. Also for $230, another fan favorite, the Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Core Black Red, also known as the Red Stripe, is going to be dropping. Even without a discount code, you should be able to make some easy profit, especially on those larger sizes, and even on the smaller ones too, if you have no tax in your state or you're selling locally. And then if there was a discount code, of course they'd be even more profitable, but you're not going to need that if you focus on the larger sizes. Then for $210, the Yeezy Knit Runner Fade Indigo is going to be dropping. Unfortunately, these are just going to be personals, even with a discount code. Also dropping for $210, the same goes for the Yeezy Knit Runner Faded Azure. These are also just going to be personals. Then for $210, the Yeezy 500 Granite should be dropping. Even though they look like utility blacks, they're not. But because of that, they actually do have pretty decent demand on the larger sizes. So you might be able to make some easy profit off of sizes 11.5 and above if you have no tax in your state. Then for $210, the Yeezy 700 V3 Fade Salt is going to be dropping. Unless the discount is really, really big, I would have to say these are just going to be personals. Then for $70, we got the Yeezy Slide Flax dropping. Even without a discount code, these should be profitable too. Then for $230, the Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Flax is going to be dropping. If there is a discount code, you might be able to make some brick profit or lunch money, or more if it is larger. Nothing too crazy though. Then for $90, we'll be seeing the Yeezy Foamrunner Mist drop. Now, even if there is no discount code, if you're selling off of platforms and you have no tax, you'll be able to make a couple of dollars, or alternatively, if there is a discount code, you'll be able to make a little bit of profit too. Then we got the Yeezy 700 V3 Safflower dropping for $210. Unless the discount code is pretty big, I would say these are mostly going to be personals, but if the discount code is big, maybe on some of those larger sizes, you'll be able to make some brick profit or lunch money. Then for $200, the Yeezy Desert Boot Oil should finally be returning. This is another one where if you could be patient, you'll actually make some really good profit off of these. They are slower sellers, slightly better than the other boots. I think this one has some of the most demand out of all the boots, so definitely one I would suggest going for for if you could be slightly patient when selling, especially in large sizes. And the same goes for the Yeezy Desert Boot Rock, which is also going to be dropping for $200. If you could be very patient when selling these, you might be able to list them for the high and make a pretty decent profit. Then for $230, the Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Salt is going to be dropping. Now, even though this is not one of Kanye's official colorways, the demand actually is not bad on these, and I think it's just because there's a stripe on them. These stripe colorways do tend to get a lot of demand, and even without a discount code, it's looking like you'll be able to make some lunch money or brick profit off of some larger sizes, or if you're selling off platforms and you have no tax, even some of the smaller sizes might get you a little bit of brick profit. Then for $70, we'll be getting the Yeezy Slide Salt. These have slightly less demand than the other Yeezy slides, but nonetheless, if you have no tax and you're selling off platforms, you can make a couple of bucks off these, or alternatively, if there is a working discount code, you could still make profit off them too. Then for $240, the Yeezy Boost 700 Salt should be dropping, unless the discount code is pretty big. Unless there is a working discount code that's pretty big, I would say these are just going to be personals, and even if that is the case, don't expect anything much. Then the Yeezy Boost 700 V2 Static is going to be dropping too, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be at the full retail of $300. And if that's the case, you would need a pretty big discount code for these to end up being profitable, unless of course they do drop for $240, which I think is unlikely for this colorway, but of course we'll see. Otherwise, they're just going to be personals. Then a pretty random one, the Yeezy Power Phase Simple Brown should be dropping for $120. Now, don't be fooled by the current listings. The demand is not going to be good on these, like most Calabasas Power Phase Yeezys, and I definitely think this is one of the worst ones. So with that said, I would say unless there's a pretty big discount code on these, I'd say they're just going to be personal. Then for $210, the Yeezy 500 Utility Black will be dropping. Surprisingly, these are pretty low right now because the Utility Black colorway had a lot of demand, but they did get an influx in stock on their prior restock, so that's probably why. But even at these current prices right now, you'd be able to make a little bit of brick profit to lunch money depending on if you have tax in your state or if you're planning on selling off of platforms. But with a discount code, all sizes will definitely be profitable, so it's a pretty decent drop to look forward to. Now with June 3rd out of the way, now jumping on to June 4th, we got 3 good releases. First, we got the Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Zebra, a fan favorite of many, including myself. Are very excited to finally get this back. Now, even without any discounts, you could make a little bit of brick profit to lunch money depending on if you're selling off platforms and if you have no tax in your state, or alternatively, if there's a discount code, you could definitely profit off these. So there is room for profit on these, especially on those larger sizes. Even if you do have tax on those really big sizes, you could make a little bit of profit. Then for $70, we will finally get to see the Yeezy Slide Pure again. Now, these are currently listed for very high coming off of their first release. I definitely would expect these prices to drop, but I still think there's going to be plenty of room for profit on these, even without a discount code. Then for $90, the Yeezy Foamrunner MX Cinder is going to be dropping. If you have no tax and you're selling off platforms, you might be able to make a little bit of brick profit to lunch money off of these, or alternatively, if there is a working discount code, the same thing applies. Now, jumping into June 6th, we have the Yeezy Boost 350 Pirate Black dropping. Now, surprisingly, a lot of these sizes are super low from their initial re-release back in 2023 because, of course, there was just a ton of stock, but demand on these is still very strong. With a retail of $230, you should still be able to make some easy profit off of the very large sizes, especially if you have no tax and you're selling off platforms, or of course with a discount code. But it's really only going to be on those larger sizes, which is pretty surprising. But I think most of us could agree we definitely just need personals of these if you don't already have them. Then pretty much the same thing applies for the Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Blue Tint, which is also re-releasing for $230. This is actually one of my favorite Yeezys of all time. A lot of sentimental value here. A lot of the OG subscribers know precisely why. Leave a comment down below if you were one of those people, but this is definitely another good drop to look forward to profit-wise and of course for personals. Then for $400, the Yeezy Knit Runner Boot Sulfur is going to be dropping. This is another one where if you could be patient, you'll make a little bit of profit. It's not anything crazy ROI-wise, but you should be able to make some decent profit if you are very patient on these. It will just take a while to sell for the listing that you like. With those out of the way though, now moving on to June 10th. First, for $70, we got the Yeezy Slide Dark Onyx. Even without a discount code, you should be able to make a little bit of brick profit to lunch money on these depending on the size, and of course, even better with the code. And the same goes for the Yeezy Slide Azure, which is also going to be dropping for $70. And the same goes for the Yeezy Slide Granite, which is also dropping for $70, but definitely focus on the larger sizes for these. And pretty much the same thing goes for the Yeezy Slide Glow Green too, also dropping for $70, but I would expect these to age a lot better. I think if you're planning to hold any of the slides, this is definitely a pretty good one to hold. It's very unique. Then for $90, the Yeezy Foamrunner Onyx will be dropping. If you have no tax in your state and you're selling off of platforms, or if there's a discount code available, you could make a little bit of brick profit to lunch money, but otherwise they would be personals like many of these foam runners we've been discussing. Then slightly worse than those, the Yeezy Foamrunner MX Granite will be dropping for $90. These have slightly less demand, so you would need a pretty decent discount code if you do want to profit off of these, or you would just have to sell locally, and if you have no tax, of course. Then also for $90, the Yeezy Foamrunner MX Carbon is going to be dropping. These are a little bit more limited. Assuming stock does stay low on these will be profitable even without a discount code, but we'll see. I definitely still would expect prices to drop. And for $70, we should also be seeing the Yeezy Slide Slate Gray drop. Even without a discount code, these, especially in the larger sizes, should be profitable, and with a discount code, even the smaller ones will be too. With June 10th out of the way, now great news for June 11th. We got the Yeezy Boost 350 Turtle Dove coming back. I know a lot of you guys want these. These are definitely going to remain profitable in all sizes without a discount code, of course, but I think a lot of you guys definitely want your personal pair because this is definitely one of the most iconic Yeezys of all time. Then for $90, the Yeezy Foamrunner Sand should be dropping. This is definitely one of the foam runners with higher demand. I would expect these to remain profitable even without a discount code, but of course expect prices to drop to a degree. Then for $340, the Yeezy NSLTD Boot Khaki will be dropping. This is another one where if you could be patient and list them for the high, you should be able to make some good profit off these even without a discount code, but again, you'll have to be patient when selling these because the sale volume is not great. And then finally, on to the last day, June 13th, we have the Yeezy Boost 700 Waverunner coming back, a fan favorite of many people. Unfortunately, the retail should be staying at $300 for these, so with that said, only some of the larger sizes will be profitable if you have no tax in your state and you're selling off of platforms. Otherwise, taxes and fees are going to kill your profit. Unless there is a working discount code, then you could still make profit off these, but I think a lot of people are excited for these just to get their hands on a personal pair. Then for $90, the Yeezy Foamrunner Desert Sand is going to be dropping. This is another foam runner that still has pretty high demand, so I'd expect these to be profitable even without a discount code, and of course only better with the discount code, but do expect prices to still drop some. Then for $110, we'll be getting the Yeezy 450 Slide Cream. Unfortunately, these are just about retail right now, so I'd have to say personals unless there is a pretty good discount for these. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the list. This is an absolutely huge Yeezy day, and of course what's going to be pivotal this Yeezy day is if there's going to be any discount codes dropped and whether any of them are going to be working. So again, we are going to keep you guys 100% updated inside of Endurance to let you know which ones are working immediately, which ones are not working, on what products they're working on, to make sure you can make the most amount of profit possible on this drop. So again, you could join Endurance with the link in the description below, and we do so much more than just sneaker reselling too. So if you're looking to broaden your horizons beyond it, like with stock investing, sports betting exploits, Amazon FBA, price glitches, food deals, so much more ways to make and save money, definitely consider checking it out with the link below or by scanning this QR code. And remember, for just free updates and free guides, you can check out that same link below too. But other than that, have a fantastic rest of your day, and of course, good luck on this upcoming Yeezy day, or I should say Yeezy week.